MashaAllah. Aren't they? Are we in need of loving ourselves? Because everyone is running after their ego to please, to be happy. When Allah is talking about that, He's saying in reality, those ones who are causing trouble to others, it looks as if they're causing trouble to others. It is, they're causing trouble to others, but this world is gone just like that. It's finished. Forever, those ones who are being oppressed, they will be in the highest paradises. And those ones who oppress just for a couple of days in this world, they did a great injustice and oppression to themselves, because just a couple of days in this world they are going to enjoy it, but forever they are going to be in heavy punishment. Which you see, even those ones who are supporting with pulling up a chair, giving one comb, helping the tyrannical system, it's going to get a taste from that fire. Try to pull yourselves out. System is here. It needs a heavenly power to take it down. And we are not if you are given the rights, especially, to be able to escape here and there, you should. At least you're going to say, I don't like it and I don't support it in your heart. But your hands are tied. But be sincere with yourself to say whether your hands are really tied or you're just looking as an excuse for that. When Allah gives a command, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, do this, don't do this, He knows His creatures better than anything and anyone, because He is the creator. He knows you better than yourself. When He gives a command, He knows what you can carry, what you're supposed to. Not only what you're supposed to, what you can. And if you're escaping that, you're escaping from your divine creation. You're escaping from the creation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put you in to be able to carry that. So, when you do that, you're committing an injustice to yourself. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I have forbidden zulm to myself, oppression. Meaning you have the power and you put someone down. I have forbidden. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, I have forbidden it for myself. Do not be zalim to each other. So that is the meaning, not to say, I should not fast so much because I'm being a zalim to myself. I should eat more. Doesn't mean that. Because every zalim on the Day of Judgment, he will be under a flag, and in front of that leader of the flag behind him on the Day of Judgment. Everyone is going to come on the Day of Judgment lined up very properly, very correctly, and you're going to be behind who you follow in this world. You understand? So, as we spoke about a couple of days ago, the dua of Hazrat Yunus alayhi salam, La ilaha illa anta subhana in kuntum minaz zalimin. He's saying, I am in kuntum minaz zalimin. I've committed tyranny to myself. I've oppressed myself. Did he do anything wrong? Astaghfirullah, hasha. That Prophet didn't do anything wrong. Did he do anything wrong to his people? No. He is running to carry that responsibility that Allah has put, and he's just stepping away just for a while, but that responsibility now There are those that they are given that responsibility and they don't have that luxury to step away. And when you do that, you are not hurting anyone. You're only hurting yourself. As Hazrat Ali Karmalwajh is saying, in reality, everything you do is for you. If you do something that is bad, you get it. If you do something is good, it is for you too. So, look to the rights of others. You must. Especially in this country, they give you so much, you don't have to ask. You're not in need. So when you're not in need, how are you going to know the reality of a person who is in need? You will not know. And if you don't know the reality of a person who is in need, how are you going to be able to have mercy? Person falls, you're going to laugh because you never fall in your life before and you think it's funny. We created you in different tribes. Shaykh Hani is saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, it just doesn't mean to come in, oh, you know this science, you know this architecture, you know this, and we're going to share. It's not only that. Everyone also has a humanity that other races, they don't have. Every race, every tribe has a humanity, a special humanity. That's what you're supposed to learn. Maybe this nation is very tough on this, but it's very soft on this. This other nation is very soft on this, but very tough on this. You learn from each other. Do you understand? You have to take that time. Your humanity will become not just insan, but Hazrati insan. You must know. Islam is banning nationalism. Islam is banning tribalism. Prophet ﷺ came to destroy the tribes and to make an ummah. Everyone is in that second Jahiliyyah. Everyone is returning back to tribalism. Worse, not only you cannot feel what other people are feeling, worse than that, you're saying these ones, they're not even people. Only my people is people. These ones, they're not people. So I don't even care. And I'm going to kill my heart to not care. Nabi Rahmat, the Prophet of mercy. What does that mean? Smiling all the time? Being so nice to people all the time? That is what mercy is. How are you going to be able to give mercy if you are not experiencing the suffering and the pain of those who needs mercy? No. As they say to that one, when they said to that one, people don't have bread. And that one said, oh, they don't have bread? Why don't they eat cake? We can debate later whether she said that or not. Doesn't matter. The point is, you're completely disconnected from people. You don't feel, you don't want to feel because you're just selfish in your own way of living. You don't go out of your way to be a human. Then you will stop being a human being and you treat people like animals. You are an animal and you treat them like animals too. You have no idea what they're going through. Then how are you going to give mercy? There's time people are starving and they say they don't have bread. They say, hey, let them eat cake. Bread, they don't even have bread. But you have so much bread and you have so much cake, that's why you can say this. This is in Islam, but it is lost with the Muslims because we're saying our neighbors are only people that we like. Our people are only people that we like us. We must be separated. We must put a border. step by step, you start worshipping to your own self. So you are the most important thing. That time, as Shaykh Effendi is saying, the one that Allah doesn't, the one who doesn't return Allah's love, that one is a kafir. It's kufr. Now, we must learn how to look out for each other, how to be concerned about each other. You don't have time, but you have time for yourself. You must have time for others too, to even think. And you cannot do this if you're separated from each other. It's impossible. If you're separated from each other, if you just go inside your house and you close your door, even if you're packed thousands in one building, you will not know each other. You have separate lives, no? Jami. Why is it called a jami? Especially the Ottomans, they're not really saying it's a masjid, they're saying it's a jami. Because it is a place for people to gather. Not to gather once a month or come together holiday time. Islam is saying, for the men especially, you have to gather 5 times a day. And this you have to continue throughout your life. You understand? You have to know what is happening, then you're going to be a believer. Yeah, you pray so much, you go to Hajj, you go to Umrah, you give away so much, but you don't care about your neighbor because you don't know your neighbor. What kind of a believer are you? This we have to learn, especially living in this country. May Allah grant us more wisdom, more power to be able to understand these things and to live our religion with more sincerity, inshallah. May Allah forgive me and bless you. Al-Fatiha. Assalamu alaikum. Ya Allah. To come together 5 times a day, not just to pray for the murids. In reality, you have to gather 5 times a day, at least 3 times a day for sohbat. Murids. There was a time Shaykh Effendi was doing that. Fajr is giving sohbat. After Zuhr, he prayed Jamaat, he gives sohbat. Then Isha time, after Isha, he prays sohbat, giving sohbat. 3 times a day, you have to. I've heard before, you need to hear it again and again and again. Otherwise you get lost. Man is in ghaflat, created in ghaflat. You forget very easily. Even you spend, don't you know, some they were spending their whole lives with the Prophet. Once he left, they lost sight of it. What about us? Yeah, for the believers. May Allah make us to be one of them, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. As much as enough. Alhamdulillah.